Meadows here at eTown. Pretty cool. Great sound. Unbelievable. So cool. I was talking about the New York music scene being so diverse and so much going on, and I'm just curious as to what your part. I know, Cole, you've been playing a lot of different stuff, and I mentioned blurring the lines between pop music and jazz and electronic music and other things. I couldn't help but notice you've played on some projects by some people we've heard of.
That's true.
Beyonce, Taylor Swift, I don't know, a whole bunch of other people. Can you name some more things like that? Harry Styles.
Oh yeah, that guy, Harry.
Yeah.
This person named Michelle Indeggiocello.
Yeah.
And Laurie Anderson.
Yeah.
Also up there with some bucket list sonics.
You know, I performed the marriage ceremony for Laurie Anderson.
What?
To Lou Reed. I actually officiated their wedding.
Wow.
But I never played on her record. That's cooler.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's cooler than, to be honest with you. That's so cool.
Anyhow, enough about me.
Let's keep talking about you. It's cool.
No. So you're a jazz trumpeter. Did you come to New York to go to school, or how did you get into the music scene in New York City?
Well, pretty much at the downbeat of life, my dad put on Sonship by John Coltrane when I was about 3 hours old. So I think it was pretty much set from there.
Wow.
My pops is a huge music fan.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, he called Kristin and I up, and he was like, "What are you doing tomorrow night?" I'm like, I think I've got a rehearsal. He's like, I got tickets for Kendrick. We're going. And then he's taken me to the outest, jazz since I was young.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be fostered into strangeness.
Where does your dad live?
He lives in Westchester.
Yeah.
And I grew up in New York City, so that was also another breeding ground of wonders.
And Kristin, what about you? How did you get into the music world of New York City?
Well, Cole and I met at music school in Boston, actually, a very long time ago. And
is it a school we know?
Yes.
NEC?
Well, I don't know. Yes, NEC.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to NEC along with some of our, closest friends. And then right after graduation, the two of us moved to New York together.
Wow.
Actually, we moved in with Cole's dad.
Oh,
but
cool.
it didn't work. It didn't really work out.
No.
So I moved out quickly. But it was cool. It was cool. It was cool to be in Westchester.
And that was your so you were living in Westchester in your quasi father-in-law's house.
Yeah.
Commuting into the city to do all the things you needed to do, and then coming out, trying to find a train at 2 in the morning.
That was a bad move.
Yeah.
Why did we do that?
Yeah.
We should have just moved. We should have just moved right to Brooklyn.
But what was your first point of entry? What was there a band, or was there a scene you got to be a part of?
I mean, as a kid, I did a lot of choir singing. I was like choral nerd, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do musically until like last year.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a jazz singer, and I actually put out a jazz record because we studied it in the jazz program at NEC. And it's a great way to learn music, but I think after I put that album out, I realized maybe that I have more to say, and so I started writing songs, and we were in another band called Cuddle Magic that's made a bunch of records, and we'll always sort of be a band and come back together, and we all met at school.
Aren't you also in another band called Dirty Projectors?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I joined that band in 2018.
Yeah. I noticed that you're on the short list of people who are in the band. There's an incredibly long list of people who used to be in the band.
Yeah.
There's like 30 people who used to be in the band, and there's like 4 or 5 people who are in the band. Is it like the drummer of Spinal Tap or something? Is it a dangerous gig where is there? Why does everybody leave the band?
I can't. You know, that's the truth. I think that band is really the project of its leader.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, like people join a band and they tour for a couple years and they're like, all right, like, you know, I want to go make my own music, you know? So people kind of phase out. I don't think there's like some dark underbelly. I think it's just kind of like what people decide to do.
Well, you're both doing all the things that you have to do, because if you're going to be successful in New York City in the music world, you kind of have to say yes, right?
That is kind of the what we have lived by.
Yeah.
And I think, actually, excuse me, in the past, maybe it was the pandemic that sort of pushed us to stop saying yes to everything, partially because there was nothing to say yes to. And, you know, so that's when we wrote this record. And
Well, it's a really cool side project.
Thanks.
I just love it. I love the music, and I've been sharing it with people. And I'm just so glad we got to have you guys come back and be a part of the actual radio show. And it's great that you guys are here.
It's just our pleasure.
Yeah.
We eTown for life.
Yeah.
And if you have us back, we would come in a heartbeat.
Okay. Well, I want everybody to remember how to spell your band name, because there's some confusion out there.
mmeadows.
Yeah.
And it's not mmeadows. It's just Meadows. The first M is silent.
Yeah. The first M actually doesn't have to be silent. Meadows.
You could do it that way. I've heard it be done.
Good. Meadows. It's going to be good. Yeah.
I say there's two M's because there's two of us.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, we are going to hear more music. And by the way, you've just released a few songs, but not a record yet, right?
Yes, a record.
Yes, a record.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, how did I miss that? Is it
I don't really know, Nick. You tell me.
Does it only have 5 songs on it or something? What's the deal?
Yeah, you can get stuck on a couple of them and just really dig into them. I don't blame you for that.
How many? I do, by the way. I do. But what to share with our listeners, because I can't, the name of your new record.
The name of our new record is Light Moves Around You.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite song.
Yeah, exacgly.
That's my favorite
Title
song.
track.
Title track. You gotta
Debut
love
album.
it. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
I guess I did know all those things. Well, listen, we're going to hear that song eventually, but right now we're going to get back to music. Please welcome back from New York City, Meadows.
We would actually love, even after that faux pas, to invite Nick Forster to join us for this next song. Is that amenable to that?